Welcome to another edition of Don't Ask Unless You Want to Know. And today's question comes from Investors Business Daily, of all places. The question is Barack Obama a pathological liar? The most frightening aspect of Barack Obama may not be in his radical ideology, and make no mistake about it, he is radical. But even more disconcerting is his unabashed dishonesty in selling that radical ideology. One recent flurry of lies Obama has been caught concocting involves the background of his family. Now, in Dreams from My Father, his 1995 memoir, Obama used the story of his paternal grandfather's imprisonment and torture at the hands of the British colonists in Kenya as an example of white cruelty. He claimed that Hussein Anyano, Obama, was unjustly detained for 6 months before being released as a crippled, lice-ridden old man. In fact, none of this was true. According to Washington Post editor and biographer David Moranis, who traveled all the way to Kenya to investigate the tale, Obama's grandfather not only was not detained or beaten by his white rulers, as Obama had ruled, written as a 34-year-old lawyer, but there's other discrepancies as well. This is only the latest example of a growing body of fabrications, embellishments, and outright lies told by the Oval Office squatter-in-chief, who is a real problem apparently, possibly a pathological problem with the truth. Stacked up, his whoppers could make even Bill Clinton blush. Here's a sampling of Obama's family lies. Lie number 1. Obama has repeatedly claimed his white grandfather, Stanley Dunham, quote, fought in Patton's army, unquote, when in actuality he was a clerk seeing no combat in World War II. Lie number 2, Obama claimed Grandpa Dunham, a communist sympathizer, signed up for duty, quote, the day after Pearl Harbor, unquote, when in fact he waited 6 months. Lie number 3, Obama claimed his father, quote unquote, fought when he got back to Kenya against tribalism and nepotism, but ultimately was blacklisted, blackballed from the government, unquote, when in fact he fought against capitalism and lost his job when he advocated communism. Lie number 4. Obama has claimed that his late mother's health insurer refused, quote, to pay for her treatment for cancer while citing a pre-existing condition, unquote, when in reality, Cigna paid for all her hospital bills and never denied a single payment. Lie number 5. Obama claimed that he and a black student in high school named Ray were ostracized in Honolulu when in fact the friend Keith, last name Kakugawa, was himself half Japanese, and neither of them experienced discrimination. Lie number 6. Obama claimed that his father, of Indonesian stepfather, was killed by Dutch soldiers while fighting for Indonesian independence, when in fact the story turns out to be a concocted myth in almost all respects, Moranis found. Now, lie number 7. Obama claimed his parents decided to marry in the excitement of the Selma Civil Rights March in 1965, and that he personally had a claim on Selma, when in actuality they were married several years earlier. Lie number 8. Obama claimed his father got to study in the U.S. thanks to JFK's efforts to bring, quote, young Africans over to America, unquote. Sounds nice, right? When in fact the Kenyan airlift his father participated in occurred in 1959, the prior decade, under President Eisenhower. I guess Obama didn't like Ike. Lie number 9. Obama submitted a phony biography to his book publicist claiming he was, quote unquote, born in Kenya. Well, now that I think about it, maybe he wasn't lying on this one after all. But then that would mean he's lying now about not being from Kenya. Was he from Kenya before he was not from Kenya, or was he not from Kenya before he was from Kenya? Obviously, both can't be true. And lie number 10, Obama denied being a member of the Socialist New Party when a member roster of the Chicago chapter of the party lists him joining in January 11th, 1996. Lie number 11, Obama claimed he had only a passing acquaintance with Weather Underground terrorists Bill Ayers and Bernardine Dohrn, when in fact they held a fundraiser in the Hyde Park neighbor's living room. And years later, when Obama served in the U.S. Senate, they hosted a barbecue for him in their backyard. Lie number 12, Obama claimed he never heard Reverend Jeremiah Wright spew anti-American rants while sitting in the pews of Reverend Wright's church for 20 years. We're not talking 20 minutes or even 20 months or 20 weeks or 20 anything. We're talking about 20 whole years. It's inconceivable to believe that Obama could sleep through 20 years of screaming rants by Jeremiah Wright. We've heard his sermons. They're not lullabies. In fact, Obama was moved to tears when Wright condemned white folks for the U.S. bombing of other countries and even named his second book after the sermon. And the whoppers continue with lie number 13. Obama claimed he got in a big fight with an old white flame, or I don't know if she was white. Yeah, I guess she was white. Genevieve Cook, who after seeing a black play asked, quote unquote, why black people were so angry all the time, when in fact she never saw the play nor made the remark. This concludes the lies by Investors Business Daily, and their list didn't even include Obama's inartfully forged birth certificate created with multi-layer Adobe software that wasn't even invented the year his birth certificate was printed, nor would it be for many years to come. In both his autobiographies, Obama paints a false picture of a still racist America and West, where he and his friends and relatives are victimized by that racism. Conveniently, his remedy is redistributing the wealth through bigger government. But in the process of fabricating anything needed to achieve immediate political short-term gain, as his tall tales unravel, it not only results in wholesale insults against the intelligence of his detractors, who he wrongfully accused, but he's fed fuel to the fire of discontent of his millions and millions of former supporters who have gotten sick and tired of having to defend such arrogant, pathological lies. It's gotten to the point of being a full-time job just to find one shred of truth left in the shell of the man they once supported. Sadly, many of those supporters are true believers in liberal causes, but they no longer believe in the one they once believed in, who would be their champion to take them to the promised land. They voted for hope. They voted for change. They felt that tingling feeling running up their legs. They truly believed, and now they truly feel betrayed. Yet, regardless of how thoroughly Barack Obama's lies are being exposed, and regardless of how many liberal news personalities are defecting, this tragic figure continues to press all the buttons and pull all those levers of that charade, as did the illustrious Wizard of Oz when Toto pulled back the curtain, showing him to be a humbug. And he said, in final desperation, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Except that with Obama, he continues to roll that teleprompter and spew out even bigger sugar-coated lies and salty blame with unprecedented piety and self-righteous fervor. But alas, that sugar has turned moldy and the salt has lost its taste. And the teleprompter no longer is able to hold his captives under his spell. Yet Obama, the agent of hope and change, simply raises his voice as he plays his final race card stuffed up his sleeve, still playing the victim, the poor black man discriminated against by Whitey, when in reality the biggest lie may lie in his claim that he's even black. This lie is hidden in plain sight. Do you remember Barry's mom, Ann Dunham? She's 100% white, and the man Obama claims to be his father was purportedly 50% Arab and 50% African. That would make Obama only about 25% black and about 75% white. Yet he still blames the white oppressors. Blame. That has earned Obama a new nickname bestowed upon him by former Reader's Digest roving editor Lowell Ponte, who calls Obama the blame duck president. So, does this white man posing as a black man know how to stir up strife and racial tension? Yes. Does Obama know how to shirk personal responsibility and blame shift big time? Yes. But today's key question is, without any unusual definition of what the meaning of the word is, the question is Barack Obama a pathological liar? In a word, yes.